It's exactly what you get. Stop interrupting my grinding. I ain't interrupting my grinding. I ain't thinking about you. I ain't thinking about you. I ain't thinking about you.
Anybody that comes on my show, we're going to have a good conversation. It's okay to agree to disagree, just as long as we're respectful. Everyone is a product of their own experience. There will be times that you have to experience the pain in order to experience the joy. So let's talk about the experience and let's share the results. What's going on, everyone? It's your brother, your cousin, your nephew, whatever you want to call me, and I am back for another video. Okay, we got 88 people coming in right now. I see a few more of you all coming in right now. You know how we like to do things before we get started. So let me go ahead and get these disclaimers over with. Everything on this channel, everything on this video is alleged for entertainment purposes only, and everything is in my opinion. If you have not followed me on social media, make sure you go ahead and follow @SanthonyLofties. If you are in the Atlanta, Georgia area or surrounding areas and you're looking to get a smile makeover, make sure you hit up Dr. Roger Cooper at Bella Dental Services. Use promotion code AL23 and you will get 30% off of your smile makeover. Even if you're not looking for a smile makeover and you're just looking for a new doctor, a new dentist to give you your x-rays and cleaning, go ahead and hit up Bella Dental Services, Dr. Roger Cooper. They're always accepting new patients. If you have not become a member, go ahead and go to www.youtube.com/SanthonyLofties/join. Make sure you hit purchase my new music, Leave Me Alone, available on all digital platforms. Also, everyone, we will be doing the recap for Basketball Wives Los Angeles tomorrow, season 1, episode 11. And also, I will be doing Basketball Wives Orlando, season 1, episode 1. Now, you all know what we're here for. You all have been jumping on my neck, basically saying, can you please review all the Queens Men's? Well, I got something better than the actual show. I got the creator, the executive producer of the show. So before we bring him on, let me just tell you all, if you all have not listened to his story, just go and type in Christian Keys and just look at all of his interviews. At this point, I feel like I know so much about the man because I've been listening to every last one of his interviews every single day on my break. AirPods in my ear, I'm listening to everything. So y'all, make sure y'all check out those previous interviews of him, and y'all make sure y'all support all the Queens Men's. And before I bring him up, you all, he has an amazing story, okay? I mean, not only if he's a father, he's an actor, he's a model, he's a boss, the true definition. But one thing a lot of people forget, I haven't heard no one say he's a survivor. And I tell everyone, when you all, for the future content creators, when you want to be a future content creator, make sure you go look at previous interviews so you don't always repeat the same content. So y'all don't forget, this coming up Saturday, I will be having my YouTube class. So make sure you all go ahead and sign up for that, because I'll be make sure I teach you all how to create flyers, edit videos, remove backgrounds, analytics, avoid copyrights off YouTube, convert your images, convert your videos, and how to get celebrity guests. All right. Now, before I bring him up, let's play this good old clip of Christian Keys. 1, 2, 3.
This is how making love should be. So sweet.
We're not doing that anymore. Seriously, not doing that.
Whatever, man.
Is that a cross?
Yeah.
That is a cross. Hallelujah!
Okay, now what is it, woman? You just feel like arguing with me today or what? Splash, splash. This is the Baby L song.
Oh, forgive me, for I have sinned.
Christian Keys, y'all. All right, y'all, help me welcome to the podcast the one and only Christian Keys.
What's
going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Everyone that's watching, y'all, he had me nervous at first I was sitting here, I'm like, man, if he don't come up here, who am I from the car?
Come on, man. Listen, because I invite people to my lives and my podcast, so I'm definitely not going to not show up for yours.
Well, let me just say this. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you taking the time out just to come and be a part of my podcast, man.
Of course, man. Thank you for having me.
My first question, how often do you go out and people still call you Sonny?
Oh my goodness. At least once a week. At least once, but that's okay. End of the day, man, you do something that lasting and that fun. It's easily one of the most fun and one of my favorite stage plays ever. Medea Goes to Jail. So I don't mind. I'll be Sonny.
So at this point, like you used to about now, like as soon as they say Sonny, you just turn around.
Pretty much, yeah. If it's unless I'm late for something like a podcast, then you know what I'm saying. Then I'm gonna respond. So.
Gotcha. All right, so let's take it all the way back now. You actually went to school for? Did you actually go for acting, like theater arts? Like, what did you actually go to school for?
I went to school for social work.
Okay.
Because I figured being a foster kid and group homes and detention centers and all of that and everything that I went through, I figured who better, you know, to understand what these young people are going through and people in need are going through. So I was like, man, well, let me go into social work. I care about it. So, you know, let me invest in that. And I still get to do it, you know, just a different way now.
You know, it's amazing, like listening to your story, a lot that you went through. I went through the same thing. Like, I was actually adopted by family members, but I went through that abusive childhood.
Yeah.
And just to give you all a quick, brief synopsis of it. Like I said, I didn't want to go back to all the previous interviews, but listening to what you said you've been in 6 elementary schools, 7 middle schools, and 7 high schools, and you said you was adopted at like your parents gave you at 3.5.
Yep, I ended up being adopted twice.
So from 6 to 9 years old, you wasn't like in foster care.
Basically from age 4 to age 18. I was in foster care. Probably 12 to 15 foster homes, 3 or 4 group homes, a few detention centers. I was a professional runaway by like 11 years old. And like you said, you know, I'm a victor. It's not, you know, an all moment. You know, yeah, I went through some horrific child abuse. Horrific. You know, hot showers, freezing cold showers. Stand outside naked in the snow as a kid as discipline. Now, I might have deserved a spanking. I was not a saint, but I didn't deserve the things that nobody deserved the things that I was going through. And I'm just grateful that God, you know, he allowed me to heal from all that mess. You know, it still comes up. If I watch something heavy, Antoine Fisher or Precious or something that's close to that level of abuse, I'm gonna cry in the car, or I'm gonna cry right there. But it's part of that healing. But I'm just grateful that didn't ruin me, that I was still able to pull it together, give credit where it's due, and then still chase these dreams because we're here now and I'm still living, and I didn't put my son through that nonsense that I went through. And that's the other victory.
Gotcha. Okay. So when you talked about the story of where you was hit in the head with the hammer,
right here.
And do you still have scars on you that you actually look in the mirror and you just be like, I really got through this right here?
Yeah. I mean, I got, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 scars on both shins, both legs, you know, from the cutting board, or when we got like around 11 or 12 and the belt wasn't as effective as she wanted it to be, she would hold the leather side of the belt and beat us with the belt buckle.
And I think it was when you said you was outside in the cold and she would crack the door.
Yeah, she would. I'd be knocking on the door crying, trying to get back in because I'm 9. And I remembered exactly the first time she did it. I didn't even steal that money. I don't know who in the house stole that $10, but it wasn't me. But she had her mindset that it was me. And I'm like, man, I ain't do this. So I'm naked, 9 years old, out there having to make lifetime decisions. And literally like every 45 seconds, whichever part of your foot was on the ground, it's in January in Michigan. So it's snow everywhere. I'm stark naked. And so I would have to go up on my toes for about 45 seconds, you know, to let some blood get back in my heel, and then I'd have to rock back on my heels and let my toes, you know, get out of the snow for a minute, let some blood. I'm not supposed to be trying to have to make them kind of decisions at 9 years old, man. Nobody is. Nobody is. So it was a lot, man. It was a lot. It was a lot. But again, you know, I'm grateful to God that He saw me through it. It didn't break me. I even found it in my heart to forgive her eventually. Tried to reach out to her after that session, because I was like, God, I'm still carrying this. I still hate her. I got so much hate in me. And He was like, He put it in my spirit. God don't send me no text messages or nothing weird like that. You could try though. That'd be cool. But He just put in my spirit that I needed to forgive her for that. And so I prayed, and I really got to, you know, I laid in my floor in my living room at the first apartment I ever had when I moved to LA, and I asked for her forgiveness, and I stayed there until I believed me. And I cried a puddle in the floor, and essentially I just signed up for the lifelong process of committing to the fact that I've forgiven her. I'm not going to carry that nonsense, but I felt 100 pounds lighter when I got up, tried to call her and track her down, found out she had passed, because after she relinquished her adoption rights when I was 12 and I went back into the system, you know, I never talked to her again. So, but it was a big thing for me to be able to forgive her, huh?
But she kept your brother.
Yeah, she kept my brother.
You said it was 10 years? 10 years?
Yeah, I didn't see him for 10 years. And that was another way of her, you know, getting me back. That was another way for her to continue the abuse. Okay, I can't physically do this to you anymore, but I'm going to traumatize you and hurt your heart by taking your brother away.
Did the abuse continue with your brother afterwards, like when y'all finally reconnected?
I don't think so. We didn't talk much about it because, unfortunately, he still has some healing to do in that space, and everybody heals differently, and I can't judge his healing process. I had to tend to mine. So all I know is that I was happy when, you know, we finally did rekindle. He looks like a shorter, more buff version of me. I'm 6'3", he's like 5'11" or something. But you know, he's a good dude. I hope he heals, but I know I have, because I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be acting and writing for a living and putting out music if God hadn't walked me through that healing process, man.
With everything that you went through, and if I'm not mistaken, your son is either 20 or 21 in the military, right?
Christian is 20 and he's in the Army, and he's amazing. Actually, he sent me a really dope. Dude got a beard. I'm done. I am outdone, and he stole my whole face. But yeah, he's amazing, man. He's one of my heroes.
How did you know how to give him the love that you probably desired as a child? Like, even when it came to giving love, and when it came to discipline, did it go back to your mind? Like, how do I handle that situation?
Absolutely. Definitely lots of prayer involved, and it was a team effort. His mom was wonderful. You know, we never had one of those situations or relationships or friendships to where we had to go to court. I don't need nobody telling me I need to help take care of my seed. He got my name. I'm proud of that young man. So that was never an issue, thank God. It wasn't the nightmare that we see a lot of people publicly go through. It wasn't that. You know, she held it down on her side. I made sure that whatever she needed for him, she had, you know, vehicles always running. If it wasn't running, then we're going to get you another one. Whatever it took to make sure that she could help provide for my son when he was with her. And then when he was with me, same thing. I'm there. We're going to get it done. So it wasn't just me. I think between God, her, and me, I think we did a pretty good job.
What is something now that you would tell your younger self back then?
Man, forgive sooner if you can. You know, set some of that heavy stuff down that gets in the way, because all that time I spent, the hours having pretend arguments at home, or wishing I would have yelled at her or told her how I really feel or whatever, all of that stuff at home, that's time I could have been creating and living life and making memories and putting a smile on my own face instead of living in that anger. So I would tell younger me to try to forgive sooner. And yeah, that'd be the first thing.
That's one thing I love about you, is that you're so transparent. But not only that, when you talk, it put me in the mind of like your voice needs to be like a Kurt Franklin or James Fortune, be on somebody's CD, like somebody cover, like you know how like the moderator for the choir.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got that type of voice. I'm like, I can see him doing some motivational speaking. And okay, Kurt Franklin.
And I'm starting to do that, and I'm starting to do. You know, they're allowing me to do like commencement speeches and things like that, and I love that, man. Speaking to the young folks, speaking to the future generations, and we're finalizing a partnership between myself and the UNCF, the United Negro College Fund, to set up a scholarship in my grandmother and my mom's name. We lost both of them within the last 2 years, and amidst healing, and I'm still healing from that. Them hurt. They still hurt. But I know that it'll put a smile on their face, and I know it'll make God proud to do something like that. So next fall, 4 students will be able to get a $2,500 check a piece. So $10K total to go to whichever HBCU they select. So you know, trying to use that social work degree, that social work background, and then also, you know, just do something right, do something and pay it forward, man, and bless other people.
Gotcha. Everyone that's showing some love to you, y'all go ahead and leave some hearts in the comments for Christian.
Thank you.
So, how did you get into acting?
You know what? It's funny because I haven't modeled in probably 20 years. You know, once I started acting, it took me. It took over. I was like, man, this is amazing. I can live these lives. I can play you in a movie. I can be a podcast. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Really dope. So I booked the first nationally touring stage play I ever auditioned for back in 2002. So but I was already doing, you know, theater in Michigan and commercials in Michigan, and I had started acting, and I always stayed in classes, even if I'm not filming now. I'll take a class if I can, or read some more on the acting world and the acting technique and scripts and things, because I still want to get better. I want to stay a student at Lifetime University and keep learning all my life. You know what I mean?
Okay. So after you became everybody's Sonny, you should have had some type of endorsement with Kente Oil.
I should have.
You should have.
Or listen, and that's why I copywrote that song. Johnson & Johnson need to go ahead and drop that commercial for the baby oil song. But you know, I went from the Medea stuff, and that was probably the hardest, scariest thing that I've done, other than you know, raising a black man in America. Moving out here to LA and trying to make the jump from theater to TV and film. And after the Medea stuff, and I'm like, yeah, we on an enormous play. It's doing well. I should have no problem making this transition over to TV and film. God was like, yeah, that's cute. Struggle. Let me see what you're made of. And that's what happened. And it wasn't easy. And I almost quit, man, around 2008. And I, you know, I yelled at God a little bit. You know, we got a great relationship. We talk about, I don't yell at him all the time or much. And he'll check me when I do. But he wouldn't let me quit, and I wanted to. And work started picking up. I'm like, God, I'm on my last straw. You know, ain't much in the bank. I'm struggling over here. I'm doing all the work. I'm missing events, red carpet events, movie premieres, club nights, so I can study for these auditions, and I'm not booking. And I didn't quit, and I started booking stuff, man, on a regular basis. So I think he was just kind of letting me learn who I was and what I was made of, and showing me that he's gonna be here consistently. So it ended up working out, man.
I mean, you've done so much, from Saint to Sinners, All Rise. I mean, the list just goes on from there.
I love it, man. Saints and Sinners was amazing. We shot that in the A. I was hoping we were going to end that with a movie. They were talking about, like, because we shot the 6 seasons. That was incredible. Cast was bananas. What's not to love about working with Miss Vanessa Bell Calloway every day, and Flippin' Powell, and Jasmine, and Keith, and Dawn, and everybody who's on the show. I was hoping, and I'm still hoping, that maybe, you know, they'll bring us back and end it with a film, because that'd be kind of cool. But it's amazing. All Rise is incredible, man. And then All the Queen's Men came up, and bruh.
Oh, we saved that. We saved that hard, because I know everybody waiting to get to that. Now
Okay.
you said something. You said it was an interview where you said that you drew the Bentley SUV 20 years ago.
In college, yeah, man. I was up. My mind works a little weird. It's a little different. So I'll get like the craziest ideas. Like I wrote HOJ 2010, essentially a
Mhm.
Justice League movie. I wrote that in 2002, but I was afraid to be brave enough to take it out to the world and get notes and get corrected and get instruction on it and all of that stuff, or get shot down. So I never told anybody. And what came out 10, 12 years later, the Justice League. And I did the same thing
Mm.
with the Bentley SUV. You know, I saw how great the cars were doing in society. You know, that's the picture, that's the image of success and Uber success. I'm like, man, the SUV would be dope in that. So I drew it up. You know, I never told anybody about it. And what came out in 2018? The Bentley SUV.
You
They
know,
didn't steal my idea. God just said, hey, okay, I gave you this blessing. You ain't going to use it. I'm going to give it to somebody else. And he gave it to somebody else.
you know what? When I heard you say that, it really made me go digging in my email for something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, everyone loved good Christian Louboutin shoe.
Mm-hmm.
I sent the email to Christian Louboutin basically saying, hey, I would love a custom made comeback boot.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, this is my vision for it. And literally, Christian Louboutin messaged me back and said, unfortunately, we don't do this right here.
Mm-hmm.
On down the line, guess what they came out? They came out with what I emailed to them.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're selling the Christian Louboutin comeback books, and I literally have the emails to prove all of it.
Yeah. And you know what? I think now that you know that you're tuned into that creative frequency, when you do that, just make sure that both of y'all sign a non-disclaimer.
You're right.
Because that way, if they're not already actively working on that boot before the date on the non-disclaimer, they can't pop up, take inspiration from your intellectual property, your military boot idea, and then start working on it. That's why you have to do your non-disclaimers. But you
I
got
know.
something going, man.
I definitely know now. Now, you talked about always being a hopeful romantic, not hopeless.
Yes, hopeful.
So let me ask you something. What is something that you feel that you would change or work on to better help your relationships?
A bunch, man. I think I learned that early on, especially within like the last 10 years, just what can I and what do I need to do better in this space? How can I prioritize her and lift up my person so she knows she's a priority, but also still tend to my work and my craft, the thing that pays me, the business that pays me, my purpose, and also be present daily for my son. Those things. But man, there's a bunch of things, but I've learned how to communicate better. I've learned how to find more creative and thoughtful ways to express how much I care or am in love with or love my woman. Finding new ways to fall in love with them and fall in like with them and their quirks and their isms and their goofy, weird stuff. All those things help. Communicating transparently. I'm like this in my real life. This isn't a representation. I'm goofy as hell, and I don't care who, I don't care if anybody got a problem with this. Is me. And you have to be that way in your relationships out the gate. So I've learned a lot, but I'm still willing to learn a lot. So I think I'm in a good place, and I think I'm ready.
Bree said, listen, he's single because I sure am.
I see. It just popped up on here.
Okay. So have you had to use your certification yet? Since you were certified to be a massage therapist?
Oh, you went through all of it. You did your
homework. I do everything. I'm gonna learn. Like, have you had to use those skills yet?
I definitely do. Actually, one of the music videos for the upcoming album, I showcase some in there. But definitely, if I'm in a relationship, she getting that 90-minute, fingers, metacarpals. She getting the works. I love that. You got to spoil your person.
So y'all, the backstory to this right here is that you said the woman that you was dating during the time always complained about her feet hurting, right? So you wanted to go get certified to actually learn how to do a professional massage.
Yeah, a
Just
real one.
Huh?
Because you know when guys, man, we'll be like, okay, yeah, you want a massage? We'll rub the shoulders for a couple minutes, and then we gonna go straight to the yam massage. And I was like, well, let me learn how to do a real one. Let me really know how to handle the entire body that I get to call mine. And I'm glad I did. It taught me how to be more thoughtful, like how to create a new way for me to show her what she means to me.
Boy, you got all these people saying they head, they neck hurt. Ruby said my comment made him smile. Don't nobody talk to me for the next 6 months. Oh my gosh. And y'all know what's so funny about this? I have absolutely no questions. This is just coming from the top of my head, just impromptu. I mean, I done watch all your interviews. I mean, I want my interviews to feel like it's just a regular conversation.
Those are the best ones.
The best ones. But it's something that you really say, like, do you pay attention to what you be saying sometimes?
I teach me stuff sometimes. But what were you gonna say?
You made this one statement, and it was on the Dear Wifey podcast, and I think it was during the panel. Well, hold on, no, I don't. It wasn't during the panel. It was a one-on-one interview with is Lateris, right?
Yeah, Lateris Whitfield.
You said, "I want my woman, my significant other, to feel like home, and our relationship to be a vacation."
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little more on that, because that was extremely deep. Like, I feel like home, and then whatever we do is this. Our relationship should feel like it's always on a vacation.
Yeah, I believe, and I don't know it all. I'll be the first to tell you that, but I believe, and having experienced it, the person that you're in love with, when the rest of the world shuts down, man, that person should feel like, I feel like I got to sneeze. Doggone it. Yep. Excuse me. I have allergies, so. But I feel like your person that you're in love with, they should feel like home. It should feel like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't always gonna be perfect. It ain't always gonna be roses and foot rubs, but that can be part of it. The elements of the relationship that I can control or that she could control, those should be the things and the times and the moments where we make feel like vacation. Where, hey, tell me about your day, and get them boots off, and let me rub on these feet while you tell me about your day. That'll stay. The right woman, that'll stay with her for a long time, especially if you're doing it consistently. Don't start nothing that you ain't gonna keep doing. But it should feel like home. It should feel like vacation, because otherwise, what are we doing it for? Why are we here? I'm dating with purpose, on purpose, as I'm in my purpose in my life. Otherwise, I'm good, man.
Do you have a preference on, like, career? Would you want to date someone that's in the industry, like that's an actress, or would you prefer to have someone that's maybe a social worker, or when it comes to like schedules and stuff?
Great question. Great. I see why you do this. She doesn't have to be. I think someone in the industry might understand the schedule and the time demand and the need for the preparation. Like, even if let's say I'm filming Monday, the days, this coming Monday, the next 4 or 5 days, I'm studying that stuff for a couple hours out the day. I'm gonna do laps around the living room, or I'm gonna go, walk around the park, or go walk a couple miles and put it in my AirPods so I can listen to the scene. I gotta study. I don't want to just, I don't want to just work and do a decent job. I want them to be like, hey, Key's killing this. So I want to do my part, and my woman's got to understand that. I got to understand her schedule, her needs, her family responsibilities and requirements. If she has kids or if she doesn't, I got to understand and accept all of that. But she doesn't have to be in the industry. She can be a social worker or a teacher or.
I'm trying not to laugh at these comments. Jay, like, you need a nurse. I'm here. These are people that don't really come on my.
They could be in. She could be in there. Ain't nobody worked harder than a nurse. During the pandemic, they caught hell. So yeah, I mean, it could be your everyday, wonderful, amazing, beautiful Black woman. Yeah, she don't have to be in the industry.
I want you and Taraji P. Henson to go out on a date.
I love Taraji. You know what?
The way you all talk about relationships, she literally says somewhat of the same thing that you're talking about, how she want to be treated and stuff like that. And everything you're saying that you do is what she wanted.
And you know what? The couple times I met Taraji, she was as cool as you hope she would be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, if it happened, go ahead and give me my credit and go ahead and send that pass. Just go ahead and let you know right now. All right, y'all know Anthony said it. So, man, so after we done, after the Dear Wifey podcast, after you did the panel with everybody up there, how many people reached out to you? Oh, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna make this a little bit more direct.
Okay.
Did anybody on the panel reach out to you?
I'll never tell. I'll never tell.
Did one of them have a pantsuit?
Yeah.
Was it orange?
I'm not playing with you, man. We're not doing this. My bad. I'm trying to scoot out of this little sun ring that's bouncing through my window right there. But this gave me a little halo over here. But
they sent to the right on the end.
I'm not.
They didn't really talk that much.
We not. That's what we're not gonna do. Is that? Is that? That's what we're not gonna do.
Well, they already put names in here. You better listen to him. The Lord gonna church. He leading you the right way. Well, anyway, man. Let's go ahead and talk about all the queens, man.
Why not? I'm glad and thank you for your viewers for supporting it. Man, I wrote that right after I came out of that window of time where I almost quit acting. I wrote. It was originally called Black Magic. And then I changed the name to Ladies Night because I figured that was more of a universal, fun feeling kind of experience. Bingo, there it is. And I wrote Dr. Phil a couple years later. But Ladies Night, I wrote that, and I was getting a bunch of no's, man. And you know, people, networks, studios, they weren't getting the vision. Mm-hmm. And that's tough too, because you get a lot of no's. You get 30, 40 no's, and then you get a maybe. So it got optioned. That studio didn't do anything with it. So I got it back. A casino in Vegas optioned it for like 6 months. They were going to put it up on stage every night, and they didn't do anything with it. So I got it back, and I kept, rewriting, for the time or whatever. But in 2019, I ended up licensing it to Tyler Perry Studio because they saw the value. He's got a great scripted team over there.
Elon, Michelle, Jay.
Yeah, I call them the Avengers.
You know what? I would love to. You don't really hear so many people talk about a room full of women. Yeah, they do that type of work, and I actually love that you give credit to them.
Oh yeah, and I brought them a good show, and Michelle, Elon, and Dee helped us change and shift the recipe some and make it a great show. So it definitely wasn't just me. I as a writer, you got to give them something, to bless. Same way we got to do with Big Fella, but they definitely added value and challenged me on certain things. Okay, why are we doing this? Okay, bet. Okay, well maybe on this we should do that. I'm like, that's a great idea. So it's definitely a team effort, but we're here. I mean, season 3, the first half of it came out already, and not saying that there's a second half because there hasn't been a press release, but sometimes
I know what's going on.
I know you do. Sometimes there'll be like let's say hypothetically a 16 season episode, and sometimes they'll drop 8, and then they'll drop 8 more, a few months later, a couple months later or whatever. So you never know. Look,
the second season had about 20 episodes. All right.
Yeah.
I'm Christian. Oh, I hope they don't watch my podcast no more. My subscriber told me, they was like, Anthony, please watch all the queens, man. I'm like, I'm gonna get to it. I watched one episode. I couldn't leave my TV. Like, I literally did not go on a date just because I was watching the show. By the time I watched the Friday, like, if they wanted to come over, because the building that I live in, I have to go down and bring you up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Even if they showed up, they can't get in. They better follow behind somebody because I'm not coming down. Like, I literally finished all the seasons that weekend.
I love it.
I was like, oh my gosh, is that good? Like, I don't want to review it. I want to just bring the cast on.
Thank
Because
you.
Lord Jesus, they been finna bring us Blue. I'm like, Lord Jesus.
Listen, Raquel is she's, other than Madam, Blue is my favorite character. And I heisted that inspiration from Shonda Rhimes.
Okay.
I took a master class on writing hers because she has one out and it's brilliant, by the way. Any writers, any of your viewers that are writers, look up her master class. Do yourself a favor. That's all I'm gonna say. I did it. I spent my money and it was worth it. She said, take half of the characters that you plan on making men and make them women and write the hell out of them and see what it does to your story. She ain't say write the hell out of them. I had that part. But implementing that into my writing, not just All the Queen's Men, but any of my writing, making sure that what I took it as, she was telling me to make sure that my female characters are at least as layered, as strong, as messy, as bold, as beautiful, as unapologetic as the male characters. And that takes your writing to a whole nother level, and it did. So I made sure to make Madam wonderful and scary. Blue was loyal and amazing. Dime, just everybody. I love the characters on there.
Is there a piece of you in each one of the characters? Like
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because if there is a piece of you, what piece of you in Tommy? Because I need to know that. Like, I think everybody heard need a Tommy. Like, are you making peanut butter and jelly cookies?
Well, it's maybe the loyalty. He's been in there from the beginning. Madam always had a chef. In 2010, Madam had a chef. But when we got there, his character was built out more. But I say his loyalty, and I'm mediocre in the kitchen. Ain't no point in lying about that. I can Uber Eats like it ain't nobody's business, but I'm decent at best in the kitchen. So I'd say the loyalty. But like midnight, if I was in that space and in that place, yes, I would strap whatever dead body to the cart, roll it around the side of the building, and bury it with you. I don't want to do it. Like, don't call me if you got to bury somebody, please. But I'm that kind of person that you can count on. So there's a little bit of me in every single one of the characters.
Okay. So you brought someone, before I even get to that, you said that you was on the set, I think maybe getting ready to go, and somebody said they saw you. Well, you said you saw someone and they was like, you're the reason I'm here.
Oh
you
my
said
God.
you almost teared up about that.
No, I wasn't almost. I had to walk away. I had to walk away and start blinking fast. The young brother who was checking us in when we were in the bubble, filming in the pandemic, and they were super cautious, super careful over TPS. I think we tested 5 or 6 times a week if you're filming, and the temp check. Like you might have got tested like twice, sometimes 3 times a day, maybe. Like it was a lot, but it was worth it. It kept us working. But we were checking in, and this young brother was checking everybody in, showed him my ID, told him my name, and he said, Christian Keys. As in the reason we're here working. And that messed me up because that was the first time it really hit me that All the Queen's Men and being brave enough not to quit on it back then when I was getting those was tied to blessing other people. And I hadn't realized that until really that moment, like, man, my blessings, if I chase these things down, they can bless other people too. And it's about providing opportunity that might not be there otherwise. So it made me feel really good. I did, have to walk away. So
I love how you said that the nose was not spelled correctly. You said it was not yet.
Yeah.
You got to complete the spelling of it. But do you really understand how deep it is? You say in your head, you're saying that you employ 150 to 200 people on the set, right? I don't think you understand what you're really doing, because technically, even though you're not providing a check to me, your content is my content.
Right.
And because of that, if you ever go on YouTube and just type in Christian Keys or all the Queens Men reviews, you're helping way more people than you think you are, because we as content creators, we're getting paid just to talk about your creation, your
Right.
creativity, and our cast members. So technically, you're actually helping way more than 150 to 200
Yeah.
people. So
But
that's what.
it will take your breath away, even thinking about just the crew, wardrobe, sound, PAs, background, main cast, writing room,
Mm-hmm.
the other producers. There's 150 or 200 people taking home a check and paying their bills
Mm-hmm.
attached to this blessing. So I honor it. I do my best to honor it and to be responsible with it, and to build it into what it can be, because we don't know how great it can be. It can go 120, 150 episodes if story keeps growing and the characters keep developing. We never know, but I love being a part of that provisional opportunity process.
So you brought someone back. Oh my gosh! If you do this, Christian, if Anthony said it, you brought someone on this show. Hold on, I keep on saying before I bring this up. When you do your like when you did the pilot, do you all do like a focus group or a focus study to like let people watch it to see what their feedback will be? Because like most talk shows do stuff like that. Did you do that for All the Queens Men?
It's possible sometimes, but I don't think that was something we ever thought to do. We were the focus group because Michelle don't hold no punches, Elon don't hold no punches, D don't hold no punches. You get them respectfully. They're gonna figure out a classy and professional way to say what they're gonna say, but they're gonna say what they need to say. So if there's a better idea out there, they're gonna pitch it, or they're gonna say, "Hey, we can do better in that space. Let's create something even better than that." And that is one of the wonderful parts of being a part of a great team. But we were pretty much the focus group. So when something wasn't wonderful, we would change it. We like, okay, this got to change. I ended up writing probably 80 or 90% of the first season, the whole season, because we were in a pandemic. So most of my pandemic was spent at my kitchen counter getting 5 or 6 pages a day. And then that same night, getting the previous episode back and adjusting and addressing those notes that Elon and Michelle and Dee were sending. So it was a process, but it taught me so much. And again, it made me respect the blessing that this thing is. So yeah, and what's funny is pretty much all of us thought the same. We were like, okay, this guy, when we were casting, Evil is gonna murder Madam, kill it. Raquel was great, phenomenal for Blue. All of us pretty much had the same casting picks, which let me know that we're all on the same page. Dime is dime, blue is blue. I'm gonna see her in 20, 25 years, and I'm still going, hey Blue, I'm still gonna call her Blue.
All right, what you saying that there's like so many amazing things that you can do with All the Queens Men. I'm loving it. But do y'all have those moments where when you write, of course you're writing a good show, but with the way marketing and social media is, do you all have those moments? What's something that we can do that can make this show go viral? Do y'all have those moments or no?
Well, they're in there. There are, people take clips, sometimes small clips. I don't love the TikTok people that be putting the whole entire episode on there. I don't love that because they'll put the whole come on, not the whole episode. You essentially you bootleg it down. That ain't cool. But there's moments that can and have gone semi-viral. But I think that as the show grows, I think BET is gonna put season 2 on BET, and season 3 is gonna stay on BET Plus. And then when we go to hypothetically, optimistically, when we move forward with the season 4, perhaps, you never know. Then maybe season 3 will go to BET. Things like that. It's gonna continue growing, I think.
I need to see something on All the Queens Men.
What do you need to see?
You brought Crystal Wilson on there. Now, I know this is what I need to see on All the Queens Men.
Oh wow.
I need to see it. I'm sorry. I need to see it. You know, on Blackish when girlfriends came back.
Yeah.
I need to see Ebony. I need to see Tricks. You got Chris on there. Even if you brought Lisa, I need to see some type of return of image of all four of them together, or just three. I need to see.
I'll say this because if I answer it, I'm definitely in trouble, and I don't want no smoke. I'll just say that you never know what can happen.
Mm-hmm. Dollar Bill already gone. They can sit up here and say, you know what? Because if you think at the end of Players Club, they was like, we didn't hear from Dollar Bill no more. And make it so much fun. It's the way I look at it as I'm like, you know what? We got Madam. Let's just say we did have Lisa Ray come in as one of Madam's old friends or whatever. Streets come in like, oh wow, the club scene has really changed. Just even if you put a whole like funny part into it with Tricks basically sitting up here talking to Crystal. Girl, you know Diamond whooped your last time. We're not gonna go back to that. Like, let her be the social worker. I just see those funny moments like you got something that's so major. There's like, oh my gosh, I just appreciate everything, your vision, everything about this show.
Thank you very much. And I think one of the other favorite parts of mine about it is that when it ends up being even better than it is in your head. Like when you write it, you got an idea of how Madam's gonna move and her isms, her Madamisms, her everything, and what Midnight is gonna be like, and Doc and Face and Fuego and Amp. You might not have known this. When I originally wrote it, I was Amp.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm glad you knew that.
There was no concierge back then. I added the concierge because when we were going to go to filming, I switched it over. Like, let's get a younger Amp, you know, let somebody else have some fun. I could have done it though, be clear. But I digress. And then I was going to be Marcus, Madam's, her attorney.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyler said, that's kind of safe.
Mm-hmm.
And he challenged me. He was like, you can do that. But he's like, but you're not, you know, that's a safer character. And I was like, okay, oh, you want something unsafe? I got you. And I'm glad he did, because I really enjoy the concierge. He's so calm and so poised and so unlike me. You know, he's steady, he's in the pocket, but you know, he did just torture somebody, you know, and managed not to get any blood on his suit. So yeah, I love the characters, and they're better than I thought it was going to be. It's even better.
The role fit that position. I used to be a concierge for a few high rises in Nashville. Mm-hmm. And once you think about your character in the role, trust me, I was around NFL players, all that stuff. Look, mm-hmm. My motto was, just because I see it doesn't mean I seen it. Just because I hear it doesn't mean I heard it. So I'm like, well, I'm not doing all the stuff you was doing in the movie, but it kind of goes. No.
And I think it's safe to say, but like the private plane scene with Madam and the concierge, mm-hmm. They allowed us to choreograph that, and kind of, you know, because you got to take into consideration the space. Some of the smaller, I didn't know this because I don't own a private plane, but some of the smaller private planes, I guess the G3s, they're a little smaller, you know, and I'm 6'3", so we couldn't really stand all the way up in it, that kind of thing. So it's like, okay, we got this space to play with. And Eva, again, such a professional. That's my teammate, you know, my ride or die. She's amazing. And we were like, okay, well, we could go here and then how do we get from here to here? And they pretty much let us choreograph, us and the intimacy coordinators. We could choreographed it, we filmed it fully dressed, and presented that to TP, who was directing it at the time, and he was like, yeah, you know what, I like it, let's roll with it. So you know, you never know, man. If you get a good teammate like Eva or like Raquel or, you know, Candace, who plays Dime, or just any of the cast on any show, you get your great teammates, man, and great trust, you get some great moments.
I honestly feel like Eva was made for that part.
Oh my God.
I can't think of nobody else who would just be like, okay, they can do now. After Eva touch, don't leave alone.
And the pants, she is the pantsuit assassin. She is killing the pantsuits. My description of Madam was always a sister. Mm-hmm. But her energy needed to be kind of Queen of the South meets Rihanna. You know, the Queen of the South element. She's business savvy. She's bottle bread. Don't show up late with my bread, or you're not gonna show up no more. But also, you know, she's runway ready at all times, sharp as a box of razor blades. That's Eva. She just lands the plane.
How did y'all not laugh at some of the episodes with her father in the nursing home?
We did. We absolutely did. We absolutely and Cadillac. It's funny because when you write a story like that, sometimes it'll start writing itself. I'll be in Ralph's or Vaughn's getting groceries, and I'm like, "Oh, that's a good idea," and that's a good idea. And now I'm talking in the phone in the corner, like, "Yeah," and then Madam can do this, and then we can do this with this, and I'm writing. So that's what it's turned into. Like they're so wonderful. I love Cadillac and his issues. I love Carla, Eva's sister on the show. I love working with her. She's a consummate professional. Boom, she's ready. You can shoot her rehearsals. She's the real deal still. So it's a treat to have her. Just the whole cast, man. And you never know who may be able to be added. You never know. I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to get a call from any attorney. But you never know. You never know.
Never know. It was one more thing I was going to ask. Did you sing in the Medea play?
I did. I sang bum bum bum, ain't no sunshine.
Okay, you did.
Gone. And I sang upstairs. I sang a song called "Wait Till I Get Home Tonight" to my cheating wife, who had a child with somebody else. And for a while on the road, this wasn't on the video, but I got to sing A Woman's Work every night.
So let's talk about this right here.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
it. So sweet. Will we hear any of your music on All the Queens Men, or?
Yes, you will. Actually, this week, musically, I can talk about it because I'm tiptoeing because we can't fully delve into like shows that we're on yet. Until the strike's over. I stand in solidarity with them. But word is, you know, I heard online that All Rise played So Sweet this week when Robin and Lola were slow dancing in the living room.
Okay.
So I'm definitely going to be working some of my music into some of these projects now that it's done and the album is ready. The album's coming out in a couple weeks. And I'm happy about it, man. I'm proud of it because it says the things I want to say the way that I want to say them.
It's this one part when you say, "Wanna make sure that you know you're the only one I ever give my love, my love."
Yes.
Oh, baby. I was like, "Okay, come on, Chris."
Yeah, you gotta give them a little. You know, we came up on a somewhat of a different era musically. You know, the Temptations, a lot of blues I grew up on, the DeBarge, you know, Smokey, Face. Brian McKnight, you know, singers, man, and Teddy P and Marvin and Luther and them, and that's kind of who I wanted to write songs that make you feel like one of their songs, and that's all. I don't want to copy them. I want to do my version of their kind of quality storytelling.
Gotcha. So 95% of your album was created by, is it Herman
Johnson? Yep.
Okay. So will he be working on your?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I'll sit outside his house if he don't.
So what's going on with your son and his music?
He is. Damn it! You really did. You got a PhD.
By the time we finish this, when you all have y'all next press run, I guarantee you will say, "I need him on this red carpet."
Amen. Amen. You ain't
and tell Frank he gonna have to send me all the pictures with the names on there. So it's like Devil Wears Prada. I need to know who everybody who's gonna be on it. Okay, do my
got you.
Be right there.
Devil Wears, amazing movie, by the way. But I've only seen that like 40 times. But his music is amazing. He's finding his voice, but he's also learning how to, you know, create some tracks, do some production. I want to support it, but I also, you know, don't want to get in the way. I want it to be his thing. So
somebody said they heard the song.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, So Sweet is it's on All Rise. It was on All Rise this week's episode.
Okay.
So it's good to get it out there because now that's 3 million people at the same time that have heard your song. That helps getting the word out there. Like, hey, this music is legit over here. Y'all want to check this out?
Okay. So we're coming up on almost an hour. We got 5 minutes left. Is there anything that you would like to leave as encouraging words to help others that want to make it in this field? Normally, before I leave, I let like a few people come up, and there are literally two people backstage when they ask questions, just give you words of encouragement to keep going. And it's on you.
Well, definitely. I would say this. I live by it, so it's not me preaching at all. But God can't bless the things that we really are passionate about if we don't build them. We have to give him something to bless, and that thing is the work that we put in when we're taking classes, when we're reading books about our craft or our thing, when we're learning how to do a podcast and make it amazing. God can't bless it unless you start the podcast. God can't bless that book or that album, that movie that you want to write, or that clothing line you want to start, or this fitness company or herbal supplement, whatever the thing is that you want to do. He can't bless it unless we start to build it. And I say just, lean into that thing, man. Get involved with what you're passionate about and watch God, who is a genius and a comedian, watch him bless it, watch him work.
All right. Lady D, I'm about to bring up. Lady D was actually the one that told me to watch All the Queens of Men. If I don't let her up here, she gonna go. Lady D, how are you, love?
I'm good. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Brad. Hey,
Hey,
Christian. How are
What?
you?
I'm good, Lady D. Thank you for putting him on to our favorite show.
Yes, sir. I love the show. I was telling Anthony, I said, Anthony, you got to watch it. We got to review it. And this is even better than the review because we got the producer himself. But I do have a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
So how did you I mean, you said it, but I just need a little bit more details. How did you know that Eva Marcella was the right woman to play Madam? Because she is. She just killing it. How did
Um,
you?
did you ever see Note to Self? It was a movie I wrote probably, I don't know, some years ago, but it came out around 2011, 2012. She played my love interest in that, and she was always fearless as an actor. She's even know who she is. She know who she ain't. She is fearless, and I love that. And I'm like, there was always a short list for Madam, and Eva was always on it. So she called me in the bathtub, um, and she was like, hey, it said keys on the bottom of this script.
my Christian Keys.
She was like, my Christian keys? My ace? My bull cool? I said, is this Madam? And we fell out. So it just, like I said, God's a genius and a comedian. It was the perfect storm of creativity and teamwork, and we got it done.
Okay, that's good. But let me just say this. I watched the show in like 2 weeks. I was hooked. The first episode, I was like, okay. And then when Eva came behind Doc and shot, oh boy, I forgot the name. I forgot his name, but she shot him in the head. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, this is a bad chick right here. She
Mm-hmm.
she is killing it. I
Yeah.
love the show. Congratulations. And your story, just from hearing you talk about it, it almost made me cry. But I'm glad you're a survivor and you made it through. And congratulations on all your success.
Thank you
Love the
very
show,
much,
guys.
Lady D. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you so much, Lady D. I
Mhm.
appreciate it. And one more person. This is Girlfriend Chronicles. Girlfriend Chronicles, thank you so much for coming up. You all make sure you all go follow Girlfriend Chronicles. She just uploaded her first YouTube video and subscribe to her channel. Go ahead, love.
I'm over here fanning. I didn't forgot what I was gonna ask. Oh my goodness.
Come on, Girlfriend Chronicles.
Yes. First of all, thank you for your inspiration. I have so many things that I am procrastinating about. Anthony has helped me push myself to put my first video out. So thank you, Anthony. But
Welcome.
your words of encouragement this evening has really touched me. Your inspiration, your story of your testimony of your trials and tribulations that you went through has been amazing. It has really touched me. First fam. So That's number one. And I just want to ask you, how do you balance so much stuff? It's like you have so much on your plate, but I know you can eat every morsel. So that's a question, because you have so much going on, and I enjoy every show that you are on and everything that you've created. I'm going to go back and watch those other things that you have done. So, but I love All Rise. I watched it when it was on regular channels, but I'm loving it on BET even more.
Thank you, thank you. It is a balancing act. It definitely, it helps to have representation that can handle some of the legal stuff and the paperwork and this, that, and the other. The rest of it is just, knowing and appreciating the blessing that it is, and the fact that there aren't many shows created by Black folks on TV right now or streaming. There's a handful or two, maybe three, and so just respecting the place and knowing that, man, this doesn't happen, and now that God has set this up, I want to make him proud. I want my son proud. I want the people that have held me down since even before the Medea days. I want to make them proud and create opportunity and create jobs and let people's resume grow as they get better at the thing. And who knows, some of those PAs might eventually be full producers and eventually executive producers and show creators themselves. Maybe they'll get a nudge in their spirit, like, man, I want to write this. I want to write a show, and they'll do it. And I'll get a chance to, cut on Netflix and see them do it. So I know it's a big responsibility, and I appreciate it. And I think that helps me when it gets crazy, So I think that's a big part of it.
And last question, do you think you'll put out anything about your personal life?
Absolutely. I'm working on 2 books right now. One's kind of a lessons I've learned while dating book. It's called Defining Your Ship. That one's done. I'm actually just shopping the publishing deal for that, but it's essentially being able to define, is this an associationship? Is this person an associate or a friend? Friendships, best friends. How is your communicationship? Are you in a locationship where y'all just basically kicking it because y'all, in the same place? Y'all the only 2 Black people in Alaska. Is it a situationship? Is it a battleship? Is it a penetration ship? Is it just sex? How to figure out what you're in so you know what to expect. And then the second one is called Spare the Rod, because that's what Mrs. Keys used to repeat over and over when she was beating us. So that one's almost done. So it'll be coming soon. It's called Spare the Rod.
I'm going to send you my real name so you can add me to your relocation ship. Thank you.
Okay. Relocation ship.
Thank you for having me up, Anthony. Thank you.
Anytime, love.
Thank you.
Kristen, the nurse that said there was a nurse if you need one. This is Jay. Jay, how are you?
Hi, y'all.
What's going on?
I don't have a question. I just wanted to say hi. I would never forgive myself if I didn't come up on the
I know
panel.
she did. As much as you talk on our panels, you just want to say
Oh
hi.
my God. Don't put me on the spot, Anthony.
I'll put you in time out in a minute.
So, Christian, I follow you on Instagram and I think you are hilarious. Do you see yourself doing something in comedy?
Absolutely. I won't. I have no urges to ever do stand-up. I think that'd probably be the only thing that scared me. I'll sing in front of 20,000 people before I get up there and try to do a comedy set. That's scary, and that's a special skill, but definitely more clever comedy stuff, full comedy stuff, you name it. Now that the industry has seen that I can do it, I get more opportunities to do so.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like sitcom type of comedy.
Yeah.
Not stand up. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely sitcoms or like the dramas that kind of have the moments of levity in there and the funny things in there. Absolutely, I would do both.
Okay. And I mean, if you need a date anytime soon,
Thank you.
she is available.
Gee, third person.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you so
I
much,
appreciate
Jay.
it.
No problem. How's Black Don't Crack going?
It is going wonderfully, actually. Dang, you don't miss nothing.
And
This is
also
this,
the
this
joggers,
is
the
this is
clothing.
I'm gonna cut you off. This is easily one of the best interviews I've ever had. This is you don't miss nothing.
Thank you so much.
But Deborah Hubbard, amazing sister out here in Cali, started Black Don't Crack 8-9 years ago. I saw it somewhere. I was like, man, that's dope. That's gonna go crazy. She's still building it, but we're partnering and doing a skincare line. We've been working on facial moisturizer and a full-fledged skincare line called Black Don't Crack for the last couple years. Actually, last 3 or 4 years we've been working it together, and especially this last year and a half putting together the 3-step and the moisturizer. So all of that'll be coming soon. But she's still family, and we're partnering to launch the skincare, her and I. So I'm excited about that too, man. You never know where these blessings and wonderful opportunities are going to come from.
And what about you was working with someone doing like joggers or something like that, right?
My guy, Brian Reynolds, brother from the South, great, big, country strong. He started Favor Elite Apparel. I love what it stands for because we all need and want favor. Whoever you pray to, who don't want favor in your life. I've had a bunch of it, thank God, and I appreciate it, so it still keeps coming. But I love what the brand stands for. And so I've been, just trying to help him get the word out about the amazing brand that he's built. But it's crazy. I love what he's doing with it. So it's gonna be in Macy's or the Nike store or something in a year or two. It's gonna be gone. It's crazy.
Gotcha. All right. Last thing, Auntie Mildred. I know you'll kill me if you don't say something. She is the last one that's gonna come up.
Okay, come on, hey, come on, Auntie.
I'm the
Auntie
last
Mildred.
one.
Yep.
Okay. Hello, Anthony. Thank you so much. Hello, handsome Mr. Christian. Hello.
Oh, how are you, dear?
I'm doing great. So happy that you made it with Anthony. So my favorite characters on your show is Blue. Blue is my favorite. My next one is Madam.
Yes.
And then when you came in, let me tell you what, you just kind of took my breath away a little bit. You made light skin appealing to me. All my brothers are light skinned in it, so I really never really liked it until I saw you. I said, "Ooh, he bringing that feeling." Okay.
Well, I greatly appreciate that.
You are more than welcome. You are more than welcome. Now, one last thing.
Mm-hmm.
Bolo, is all of that really happening down there?
We not gonna ask me about somebody else's jump.
Yes, we is, because you the only person.
That's what we're not.
Can Bolo come to the show, Anthony?
If Mr. Christian want to if Frank or Christian want to tell them to come on my platform, then they go for that. That was the wrong question, Auntie Mildred.
No, it wasn't. That's the question I asked you, Anthony.
I wasn't gonna ask him.
How about this? How about this for a resolution?
Okay.
We get Mike Bolo on here, and then you can ask him.
The reason I asked, not to be just tongue in cheek and so flippant, is because Bolo nearly shut down Housewives of Atlanta. Y'all remember, right? Who with me, ladies? When he appeared on Housewives of Atlanta, oh Lord, he stirred it up. So everybody's been kind of blinking and looking and squinting, trying to make sure that apparatus is actually what it appears.
Mildred, thank you for coming up, love.
You're welcome, Anthony, but you know me and you knew I was gonna cut up.
Listen, Mildred, we gonna get Mike over here, and that way he can answer those. That's a Bolo question.
It was an impressive male member, I gotta tell you.
Well, Auntie Mildred, you kind of beat me to the punch because when you got off, I was literally gonna sit up here and say, "So, Christian, do I need to reach out to Frank and tell him who I need to come on next from the cast because everyone is loving everyone on the show." So
we love the characters on the show. The characters are so rich, so well developed.
Thank you.
I binge watched the show. We love it. I can't wait for it to come on. And yes, great job, Christian.
Thank you. Somebody said Auntie Mildred being a real auntie.
Oh yes, I'm that auntie.
All right, thank you so much, Auntie Mildred. All right. So as soon as we end this, I'm actually about to share something with you backstage. All right.
Okay.
But you all, I want to thank you all for tuning in, and I appreciate everyone's support. And Christian, thank you for coming to be a part of this platform. All right.
Listen, thank you for having me. And real fast before you end it, 2 things. One, I used to have a couple YouTube pages and I think I changed the email address, so I no longer have access to them. So my only page is the one that my music videos are on. It's Actor Christian Keys. No spaces, no slashes, no underscores. Actor Christian Christian Keyes. And check out my page. It's actually me. I go live on there once in a while. I only have one TikTok, one Instagram, one Facebook, and one YouTube.
All right, you all got the information right there, so make sure you all go check it out, and you all have a good.
Anthony, one more thing. City Winery Tour.
What? You come to Nashville?
I'm trying to get to Nashville. I can tell you about the first 6 cities.
All right, what are you?
So I'll post all the information tomorrow. But coming to Atlanta, November 15th, DC, Philly, and Pittsburgh that following week. I'll post the info. City Winery, get your tickets because they it's wonderful. So it will sell out. These are wonderful venues, and then Chicago and St. Louis. So those 6 cities: DC, Chicago, Atlanta, Philly, Pittsburgh. See y'all soon.
Okay. When I get that flyer, I'll make sure I put it up here on my channel and everything.
Done and done. And thank you, man. This is a great. I've had some good and some great interviews, but you did your homework and a half, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All right, you all have a good night. And Christian, with me, you can go backstage. All right.
Yes, sir.